Hello, good morning. My name is Billy Garish. I'm back for part two of The Thing. This is the Bremen Lectures by Martin Heidegger. Happy Father's Day to you papas out there. Remembering my dad. All right, part two. Two of two, hopefully. I'm on the top of page 15 of this edition. Because the word thing in the language use of Western metaphysics names something that is in any way at all, the meaning of the noun thing changes according to the interpretation of that which is, i.e., of beings. I guess it's a relative idea. Kant speaks of things in the same manner as Meister Eckhart. It means with this term something that is. But for Kant, that which is becomes the object of a representing that terminates in the self-consciousness of the human eye. The thing in itself means, for Kant, the object in itself. The character of the, quote, in itself means for Kant that the object in itself is an object without relation independent. That relation to human representation, i.e. without that, quote, against, by means of which it stands for this representing in the first place. Thought in a rigorously Kantian manner. Thing, quote, thing in itself means an object that is not an object because it is supposed to stand without a possible against, quote. For the human representing that comes across it. Excuse me, neither the long used up general meaning of the noun thing, quote unquote thing, as employed in philosophy, nor the high old German meaning of the word thing, however, help us in the least in our predicament of experiencing and sufficiently thinking the factual essence of what we now say concerning the essence of the jug. Against this, however, one aspect of meaning from the old linguistic usage of the word thing does address the essence of the jug as thought here, namely that of, quote, gathering. The jug is a thing, neither in the sense of the race as meant by the Romans, nor in the sense of the ends conceived in the Middle Ages, nor even in the sense of the object of modern representation. The jug is a thing, not an object. Whether this be one of production or of mere representation. The jug is a thing insofar as it things. From the thinging of the thing, there takes place and is first determined the presencing of what presence is after the manner of the jug. Okay. Today, everything that presence is equally near and far. The distanceless dominates. All shortening and abolition of distances, however, brings no nearness. What is nearness? ? To find the essence of nearness, we considered a jug in the vicinity. We sought the essence of nearness and found the essence of the jug as thing. With this finding, however, we simultaneously become aware of the essence of nearness. The thing things. By thinging, it lets the earth and sky, divinities and mortals abide. By letting abide, the thing brings the four in their remoteness near to each other. This bringing near is nearing. Nearing is the essence of nearness. Nearness brings near what is far off, and indeed as the far off. Nearness guards what is remote. Guarding remoteness, nearness essences in its nearness. Nearing in such a manner, nearing conceals itself and remains in its way what is most near. The thing is not in, quote, in the vicinity as though this would be a container. Nearness reigns in nearing as the thing of the thing. By thinking, the thing lets the united four, earth and sky, divinities and mortals, abide in the single fold of their fourfold, united of themselves. The earth is the building bearer. What nourishingly fructifies, tending water and stones, plants and soil. When we say earth, then we already think. In case we are thinking, the other three, along with it, from the single fold of the fourfold. The sky is the path of the sun, the course of the moon, and the gleam of the stars, the seasons of the year, the light and twilight of day, the dark and bright of the night, and favor and inclemency of weather, drifting clouds and blue depths of the ether. When we say sky, then we already think. In case we are thinking, the other three along with it form the single fold of the four. The divinities are the hinting messengers of godhood. From the concealed reign of these, there appears the God of his essence, withdrawing him from every comparison with what is present. When we name the divinities, then we already think. In case we are thinking, the other three, along with them from the single fold of the four. The mortals are the humans. They are called the mortals because they are able to die. Dying means, to be capable of death as death. Only the human dies. The animal comes to an end. Interesting. I kind of like it. Because we have an understanding of the end, or understanding of death. It has death as death, neither before it nor after it. Death is the shrine of the nothing, namely of that which in all respects is never some mere being. But nonetheless essences, namely as being itself. Death, as the shrine of nothing, harbors in itself what essences of being. As the shrine of the nothing, death is the refuge of being. The mortals we now name the mortals, not because their earthly life ends, but rather because they are capable of death as death. The mortals are who they are as mortals by essencing in the refuge of being. They are the essencing relationship of being, relationship to being as being. Metaphysics, on the contrary, represents the human as an animal, as a living being. Even when the ratio reigns over the animalitas, the human being remains defined by life and lived experience. From rational living beings, the mortal must first come to be. When we say mortal, then we already think. In case we are thinking, the other three, along with them, from the single fold of the four. Earth and sky, divinities and mortals belong together, united from each other, in the single fold of the unifying fourfold. Each of the four, in its way, mirrors the essence of the remaining others again. Each is thus reflected in its way back into what is its own within the single fold of the four. This mirroring is no presenting of an image, lighting up each of the four. This mirroring appropriates the essence of each to the others in a single bringing into ownership. In this appropriating lighting way, each of the four reflectively plays with each of the remaining others. The appropriative mirroring releases each of the four into what is its own, while binding the ones so released to the single fold of the essential reciprocality. The mirroring that binds them to this space of freedom is the play that entrusts each of the four to the others by the folded support of this bringing into ownership. None of the four insists on its separate particularity. Each of the four within this bringing into ownership is much more expropriated to what is its own. This expropriative bringing into ownership is, top page 18, the mirror play of the fourfold. From it is entrusted the single fold of the four. We name the appropriating mirror play of the single fold of the earth and sky, divinities and mortals, the world. The world essences in what it worlds. This says the worlding of world is neither explicable by nor grounded upon anything other than itself. This impossibility is not a matter of our human thinking being incapable of such explaining and grounding. The inexplicability and ungroundability of the worlding of the world lies much more in the fact that things like causes and grounds remain unsuitable for the worlding of the world. As soon as human knowing reaches an explanation here, it does not somehow step over the essence of the world, but rather collapses beneath the essence of the world. The human will to explain does not at all reach into what is simplistic of the single fold of worlding. The united four are already suffocated in their essence when one represents them only as individuated actualities that are grounded through one another and are to be explained in the terms of each other. The unity of the fourfold is the four-ring. Indeed, the four-ring does not happen in such a way that it encloses the four, and as this enclosure only comes to them belatedly, just as little is the four-ring limited to the four once again present at hand, merely standing next to each other. The four-ring essences as the appropriating mirror play of the ones that are simply entrusted to each other. The four-ring essences as the worlding of world. The four-ring essences as the worlding of world. The mirror play of world is the round dance of appropriation. For this reason, the round dance does not hug the four like a hoop. The round dance is a ring that rings by its play as mirroring. Appropriating, it lights up the four in the gleam of their single fold. Gleaming, the ring everywhere openly brings the four into the ownership of the riddle of their essence, the collected essence of the mirror play of the world. Ringing in this way is a circling. In the circling of this playful mirroring ring, the four nestle into their united essence and nothing. Nestle, cool word. The comfortable, right? Nestle to comfortable. Into their united essence and nonetheless each respectively into their own essence. Supple in this way, again goes well with nestle, in this way, they join plaintively and worldingly the world. Supple, lithesome, malleable, point, light. This is called in our old German language ring and gering. As what is slight about the ring, the mirror play of the worlding world ringingly releases the united four into their own plaincy, the nimbleness of their essence. From out of the mirror play of the circling of the nimble, there takes place the thinging of the thing. The thing lets the fourfold abide. The thing things the world. Everything lets the fourfold abide in something that each time abides from the single fold of the world. When we let the thing in its thinging essence from out of the worlding world, then we commemorate the thing as thing. Thoughtfully remembering in this way, we allow the worlding essence of the thing to concernfully approach us. When we think of the thing, thinking in this way, we are met by the thing as thing. We are, in the strict sense of the word, conditioned. Period. We have left the arrogance of everything unconditionally behind us. When we think the thing as thing, we protect the essence of the thing in the region from where it essences. Thinging is the nearing of the world. Nearing is the essence of nearness. Insofar as we protect the thing as thing, we dwell in its nearness. In nearness. The nearing of nearness is the authentic and sole dimension of the mirror play of the world. The exclusion of nearness, despite all abolition of distances, has brought the distanceless to dominance. In the exclusion of nearness, the thing as thing in the stated sense remains annihilated. But when and how are things as things? Thus we inquire amidst the dominance of the distanceless. When and how do the things come as things? When they do not come through the machinations of humans, but they also do not come without the vigilance of the mortals. The first step to such vigilance is to step back into merely representational, from merely representational, i.e., explanatory thinking, into commemorative thinking. The step back from one thinking into the other is admittedly no mere change of attitude. Indeed, it can never be something like that, because all attitudes, along with the manner of their changing, remain stuck in the region Indeed, it can never be something like that, because all attitudes, along with the manner of their changing, remain stuck in the region of representational thinking. The step back, on the contrary, departs altogether from the domain of merely personal attitudes. Addressed by the world's essence from within, the step back takes up its residence in a correspondence that answers this. For the arrival of the things as a thing, a mere change of attitude does nothing. Just as all of what now stands in the distance as objects are never able on their own to transform themselves into things. The thing as thing also never comes about in our simply avoiding objects and remembering former old objects, and perhaps or at one time on the way to becoming things or even presencing as such. Last page. Whatever becomes a thing, it takes place from out of the circle of the mirror play of the world. Only when, presumably suddenly, the worlds, as world does, the ring shine forth, that ringingly releases the circle of earth and sky, definities immortal, into the nimbleness of its single fold. In accordance with this circling, the thinging itself is slight, and the thing that each time abides is nimble, and inconspicuously pliant in its essence. Pliant. The thing is nimble, jug and bench, footbridge and plow, but a thing is also, after its manner, tree and pond, stream and mountain. Things are each abiding, thing-like in its way, heron and deer, horse and bull. Things are each abiding thing like after their manner, mirror, and clasp, book and picture, crown and cross. Yet scant and slight are things even in number, as measured against the innumerable objects everywhere of equal value, as measured against the immeasurable masses of humans as living beings. Humans, as the mortals, are the first to dwell in the world as world. Only what is slight of world ever becomes a thing. Get all that? Because I didn't. Hope this is helpful to try to understand Martin Heidegger's Bremen lectures. This is the first one. It's called The Thing. Tomorrow we're going to delve into positionality. Have a great day and see you tomorrow.